Downtown Staunton Christmas Parade starts tonight here in downtown Staunton at 7 o'clock. Now, it's going to be a lot of fun to get ready for the Christmas season, but there's one thing you can do to help us out as we get ready for the Christmas season, and there's one group that does a lot day in and day out, and especially at Christmas time, to help the more needy folk in the Shenandoah Valley, and that is the Staunton Salvation Army, Harrisonburg Salvation Army, and the Waynesboro Salvation Army. And I'm joined tonight by Captain Michael Good. He is with the Staunton Salvation Army. And Michael, I guess in a sense, we've got a little bit of good news this year, because you're telling me that the number of families that have qualified for help this year for Staunton for assistance is actually down a little bit.
Yes, it is, but we still have 357 families that need help this year, so we do need the public support with that.
412 families last year, 357 this year, so maybe it seems like maybe last year was maybe worse for the economy, at least maybe in Staunton, based upon those numbers. But a lot of kids to go along with those families need to help, right?
Yes, it does. There's 552 kids out of those 357 families that definitely need the help and support of the community, and that's why we're here tonight.
And the Salvation Army teams up with WHSV TV3 every year for the Toy Convoy, and this year is no different. What we're doing this year is we're going to be in the parade here in Staunton. It starts at 7 o'clock, and we're going to be walking along the parade route, and we're asking people to bring a new unwrapped toy. Now, tell us how important that is to your efforts.
It's very important because we don't purchase toys, and the toys that we get donated through the Toy Convoy and from those who get to us is what we use to, for the kids that come through our clearinghouse.
Now, specifically, toy ages, the kids' ages for the toys, what are we looking at?
The biggest need is our 8 to 12-year-old group, and you'd be surprised, but some of the items that we look through the applications is DVDs, for girls, Hannah Montana, CDs, anything to do with skateboarding, the hats, anything doing with that, remote control cars, makeup for girls. These are some of the biggest items. Handheld games. Another item you might think was very expensive was MP3 players, but you can find $20 MP3 players. But that's some of the biggest items for those kids that we've seen in the applications.
Now, and again, you'll take toys ages infant to 12, but it's the older kids that they seem to have more trouble getting enough toys for, ages 8 to 12.
Yes, that's the biggest group. People seem to be, it's easier to shop for younger kids because the toys are cheaper, but for the older kids it's a little harder because they want bigger things these days, and so that's the need right there.
Okay. Now, not only can you bring a new unwrapped toy down to the parade and we'll pick it up if you just give it to us along the parade route, but another need this year is, of course, food boxes, and you give them out at Christmas time, and what can folks do to help out for that?
Well, we partner with a lot of the schools in the area, and so they bring us a lot of canned goods, but what we really need is the dry goods such as these. We got macaroni and cheese is one of the biggest items, and instant potatoes, and we're looking for any dry goods like for muffins, anything like that, and stuffing mix is another thing. Those are the items that we really desperately need to fill our food boxes. And
you may not have time to go out tonight and buy a new unwrapped toy, but a lot of folks have these things in their pantry, and if they could bring down a box or two, it certainly would help out. We would pick those up along the parade route, and we'll take them just as easily from you as we would take a toy, right?
Yes, we would definitely love for you to bring these down tonight. That's probably, most of us probably have something of this sort in our cupboard, and we just bring it down tonight. You don't have to worry about going to get a toy. Just bring some food down. That'll definitely help us with our food boxes.
And as far as where to look for us, we're going to have the Salvation Army canteen, I think, in the parade?
Yes, we're going to have the canteen. We also have one of our vans, and we have a float, and some of our kids are going to be on the float tonight as well.
And TV3 will be with you, so just look for us, and we'll be happy to take any donations you can afford. And I want to thank Captain Michael Good for joining us, and now let's send it back to the studios and Mel.